Hello guys, it's Ironhawk and welcome back. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at some of the best multiplayer mods that you can play for Warband before Bannerlord is released. One reason why Warband was so successful was because of the amount of mods that people made for the game. I mean, we've had World War II mods, we've had Anglo-Zulu mods, and even Star Wars mods. Eventually, after a time, these mods will die out, and this is especially the case for multiplayer ones, because most of the multiplayer mods require quite a high number of people to actually make it good. So in this list we're going to have mods that people still actively play and that are very popular and have been popular for many years. I've decided not to put it in any sort of ranking order. It's up to you guys to decide which one you like the best. Also, if you feel like I've missed out any mods that you personally have experienced and that are still active, make sure to leave them in the comments below, because other people may be able to see them and then start playing them as well. Remember, I am referring to multiplayer mods in this video. I will do single player mods in a separate video probably. Now, I thought I'd start off this list with my personal favourite, and I'm sure that many of you will know it is Persistent World. Now, Persistent World has been around a long time and it is still going strong, so you don't have to be afraid of there being empty servers and no one to play with. I mean, I went on about 10 o'clock this morning and there were still 40 players on. However, during war times, which is when all the clans are like declaring war on each other and fighting each other, you can get up to 250 people. In my opinion, it is the Persistent World clans that have kept this mod alive because of the constant warring every single day and just the amount of stuff that goes on the server as a result of clans is just phenomenal. Now, this does create quite a big problem, because if you're not in a clan and you're just a normal player going on the server, you're often quite vulnerable to being attacked and halted, which means robbed basically, by the bigger clans. Which is why it's advised to join one of those clans. And in my opinion, it's the most fun playing within a clan because you get to partake in the huge wars, such as the one shown on screen now. Now, if you would like to take part in some of these wars, all you have to do is click on the link in the description that will take you to my clan, the House Stark's website, and there you can apply and come and join us. Make sure you download the Persistent World mod, which will also be in the description. The thing that was so unique about PW, which is short for Persistent World, is that it's in an open world and you can travel pretty much wherever you like. Now, if you would like more details on this mod, or you just want to watch some more wars, go ahead and check out my previous video, which is called Starks at War, where I give a full explanation of what Persistent World is, as well as showing you numerous battles. Now, me and one of my friends are planning something very big, which will take place on EU Phoenix, which is the main server for Persistent World. A video will be coming out on that in the near future. And I advise that you go ahead and download the mod and go on the server and get used to it, because you will want to partake in this event. It's going to be very cool. So make sure to look out for that video. It will be coming out either on the Friday or the Saturday this week. The next mod on the list is North and South, and it's only recently that I've actually taken an interest in this mod. Now, that is because I came across a game called War of Rights, which is made by the same people that made this mod for Warband. And in my opinion, it's got to be one of the best made mods. Just the sounds and how the game looks is just phenomenal. Like the sounds after the gunfires, you can even hear the echo in the background, that sort of thing. I just love it. I like the subtle features they've put in, such as fixing and defixing bayonets, I'm not sure if that's a word. And how the character holds his gun when he's running, it just looks really cool, especially when you've got a long line of troops ready for battle. Another feature is that you can actually play as the American Indians, which is very cool. They have some unique weapons such as tomahawks and that sort of thing. There are still active deathmatch servers and that sort of thing, which you can find players on pretty much all day. However, the main focus of this mod are the regimental events, when lots of different regiments come together and basically fight each other. I've only done a few of these events, however I do know that there are numerous scenarios. For example, I took part in one where the engineers had to build a bridge to the city, and then the Union troops had to go across that bridge and attack it. However, the engineers were getting shot and the bridge took a long time to build, and it was a brilliant battle. If you are in a North and South regiment, make sure to leave in the comments how to join your regiment, because I can then put that in the description so people watching this are able to join you. So, moving on. The next mod on this list is something that I featured on my channel not too long ago, and that is Fall of Mordor. Now, this basically puts lots of different factions from Lord of the Rings into Mount & Blade Warband. Now the developers have actually created two separate mods. The first one is for you to go ahead and play on your team deathmatch servers, your battle servers, and doing your events such as your shield battles and that sort of thing, and then they have a separate mod for scenarios. The scenario part of the mod is basically reenacting important parts from the Lord of the Rings film. For example, you can take part in the cavalry charge of the Sacrifice of Faramir, and you can also do the Siege of Helm's Deep. Now this mod has a lot of active players, and this includes a lot of players that are actually in clans. Now my clan is the Kingdom of Gondor, and I was a Lord in it, which is a leadership role. However, I did step down because I'm just too busy. Now if you would like to take part in the huge Lord of the Rings themed shield battles or events, make sure to go ahead and join the Kingdom of Gondor, which is the clan that I play in, and all the links to that will be in the description. I think you guys will agree with me when you say the textures of this look absolutely amazing. Lord of the Rings and Mount and Blade just go hand in hand, and it's so much fun just being able to reenact and play through these Lord of the Rings scenarios, as well as taking part in the shield battles. Trust me, if you've done a lot of native shield battles and that sort of thing, this is worth your time. Next up we have Full Invasion 2, and I'm sure so many of you have heard of this mod because it's easily one of the most popular ones of all time. I personally like it, and I'm sure a lot of other people like it because of just how unique all of these different scenarios are. You can do the most ridiculous things. For example, you can play as cowboys riding around in front of Minas Tirith killing Indians. And if that isn't different enough for you, you can also do things such as playing as clone troopers against droids, or I've also played samurai versus droids, which is interesting, and we actually got wrecked very quickly. This mod is really fun because it's not always the same factions or the same type of enemy you're fighting, or the same location, and also you can just mix it up, and I love that element of it. They've also added in a few other things. For example, you can select equipment while you're walking around in game, and then you can go up to a wardrobe and hold down F, and then you can get the equipment that you've just equipped, or you can refill your arrows, or you can rest in a bed which will get your health back. Obviously, all of these cost a certain price. You get money by obviously killing enemies, and then when you've got that money you can upgrade your armor or get better weapons, or you can do the things that I just previously mentioned. And the mod is still active, and you can still go on there and play whenever you want really, because there's always people playing. However, I would personally recommend playing with friends because that is when you're going to have the most fun. Because you can orchestrate different tactics by, for example, holding a shield wall on a stairway where the front guys are able to crouch and then the archers fire over. That's a very effective tactic. And also, I'm not sure if I mentioned, the enemies are actually AI, they're not real players. One of my favourite things about this mod is just how relaxing it is. It's really fun to play, as well as, not being too intense. I say this because in my experience of Warband, multiplayer is quite stressful, and this is a good supplement to counter the stress of mods such as Persistent World or even Native. Now we have a mod that I've been told to play countless times by my friends or in the comment section by you guys, and that is Mercenaries. So this week I started playing Mercenaries. Now, it's a very difficult mod to get into. I mean, the players on there are just ridiculously good, like ridiculously good. And even though I have 1,000 hours on the game, I'm not very good at Warband at all. Most of the people that know me through the Warband community will know that I'm not very good at melee whatsoever, and when I'm pitted against people in mercs, I am just absolutely destroyed, as you'll see in the footage. Even though I was getting beaten a lot, there are still a lot of things I do like about this mod. The first thing is, there's still a lot of players active, and there's still a lot of clans in Mercenaries that you can go ahead and join, and they do things like competitions and battles and that sort of thing. However, it's really good for improving your melee skills and pitting you against some better players. Another thing I really do like is that it is a lot more rewarding when you actually kill somebody, especially when they've got ridiculous armor and you're only naked pretty much with a cleaver. Now this brings me on to the main part of mercs. Now basically, if you go onto their website, you can actually go onto a marketplace and buy weapons on the marketplace for a certain amount of money. Once you've bought these items, you can go ahead and equip them to your character and then jump into either a siege or a battle game, and then you'll see the equipment that you've bought is actually equipped onto your character, and yeah, that's basically how it works. Items are able to go on sale, and obviously the better the item, the more expensive it's going to cost really, depending on how you play the game. Now I'm going to be playing a lot more of mercs in the near future because obviously Bannerlord is approaching and I want to get my melee skills as good as they can be. So I hit the ground running, so to speak, when Bannerlord comes out. Obviously the combat system will be a little bit different, however it's going to be extremely similar to Warband. The next mod on the list is probably one you haven't heard of before, and I was actually playing it last night with a few friends and it was really good. The best way to describe this mod is a mixture between Full Invasion 2 and Mercenaries. And it is called Nord Invasion. Now in this mod you're attacked by wave upon wave of Nordic troops. It starts off with troops such as Nordic Levy that are really bad, have awful armor and like training weapons. Then it will progress to rounds where you have ranged units where a lot of them will spawn in and you're ready for them, you're not quite expecting it, you're not quite on the ball, and then they'll all just give you a volley. And once I was in the shield wall, didn't have my shield up, and got absolutely destroyed. However, it's not just wave upon wave, there's also a website such as the one I showed you previously on Mercs. First of all, you choose your training school, which gives you some basic gear like training swords and training shield, which are awful by the way. And then you go onto the skill section, which you can increase your skills such as your class points and your ranged XP, whether you're archer, or your melee XP if you're infantry. You can also buy armor, and people can craft things which they can then list up on the market for other people to buy. There are also healing stations and places where you can buy arrows and that sort of thing, similar to Full Invasion 2. However, I like it personally because it's not just waves and waves of soldiers attacking you. You actually have to kill them and aim to kill them in order to get XP, and then that ranks up your soldier. It's not money based such as Full Invasion. Now there are so many more mods in Warband that I could name, such as Anglo-Zulu Remastered. However, I went on there yesterday and there were no servers. I could also include Iron Europe. Again, there's no servers, you just see sometimes that NW regiments fighting on there or something, but that doesn't really count as an active player base. So guys, I think that will wrap it up for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to hit that like button. It does show me your support on this video and how much you did actually like it, as well as hitting subscribe if you are new. Make sure to check the description for all the links you could possibly need, including all the download links to this mod, as well as their names. I would also like to emphasize that you go ahead and download the Persistent World mod if you do have Warband, because me and a friend, as I mentioned previously, are planning something really big, and a video will be coming out on that maybe Friday or Saturday. But make sure you go on there, try it out if you haven't already. It's going to be something super exciting. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching yet again, and I will see you in the next one.